Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Ascolese, Inventress. I'm the CEO and founder of Inventing A to Z. And welcome to the Inventress podcast. Every week I have amazing clients. And we're from entrepreneurs to singers to entertainers and so on and so forth. But most are entrepreneurs. And today I want to introduce you to a diehard entrepreneur. He does a lot of things. His name is Marc Haine. Marc, welcome to the Inventress podcast.
Thank you very much. This is so much fun already. I love
I
your
know, we're
energy.
having a blast. So Marc, you have just such a plethora of things that you do.
Yeah.
I took a look at all of the things, and you're a coach, you're a speaker. I mean, just when you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. So let's talk about you, Marc, and give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I am a keynote speaker and a serial entrepreneur. I build businesses and ideas, and I take my ideas to fruition and then, sell them off. I
And
try not to
sell them
hook
off.
into it. But here's the thing.
You sell them off. Okay.
Yeah, so when as you develop ideas, we can't be so tight to our ideas that we're saying it's going to rely on me forever. So just to give you an idea, in 2026, because I've been really successful with coaching professional speakers in getting into the realm of building their business of speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I am building a speaker school that's launching at the middle of February 2026. I have
Good.
just launched a brand new speakers bureau called Elite Headline Speakers, which is not really a speakers bureau.
Nice.
It's more
Mm-hmm.
of a speaker curation service.
Okay.
But my background has been hospitality for since I was 12. And
Really?
yeah, so I have been a hospitality specialist for decades, and I really built my specialty around the idea of building customer and employee experiences. So when
I
you think
love
of,
that. I
yeah, go
mean, I
ahead.
love that. So I wasn't sure it was going to be hotel or when you say hospitality. But this is entrepreneurship, obviously.
Mhm.
And are you teaching when you're talking about having a good experience like this, right? Coming on this
Absolutely.
podcast, you're going to have a great experience. So talk to us about that experience.
Yeah, sure. So, one of the things that I thought in hospitality, I used to being in the bubble of hospitality. So by hospitality, I meant I worked in hotels, casinos, restaurants, and I would be
Okay.
kind of the fixer. The last
Hmm.
decade of being in hospitality, I was a fixer. So doing kind of what you see in Kitchen Nightmares, except doing it for months, not weeks or hours.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I realized, I used to go through hospitality and think to myself, oh my goodness, if it wasn't for all the people, hospitality would be a cinch. And I realized, the crux, because we're dealing with people all the time. And then I
Right.
got hired by a municipality to do a service excellence program. It was a
Hmm.
municipality that people were slamming on social media. They would say things like, "Oh, we came into the community, we spent time at the river, and the park system is beautiful. It's too bad when we went into town, we were treated like fill in the blank."
Right. Right.
And the community came to me and they said, Marc, can you please help these operators become more
Hmm.
hospitable? And so I got to stick my nose into industries from everything from like the eye doctor's clinic to massage wellness clinics
Hmm.
to a welding shop to hardware stores, gas stations, grocery stores. And I realized that everything I'd been complaining about dealing with people was endemic
Hmm.
to every business. Everybody
Sure it
was
is.
complaining about the same thing.
Hmm.
And I was
Which was
lucky in
what? Bad customer service?
it. It,
What was the
it was
biggest complaint?
what so part of it is we all know customer service is necessary.
Hmm.
We all know that when you say yes sir,
Good
no
customer
sir, and so
service.
on.
Good
And
customer service.
yeah, and so but more than that,
Hmm.
I realized what we needed to do is not just execute customer service, we needed to design customer experiences. So when you think about that, think about what that looks like when you think about designing customer experiences. So it's
Hmm.
everything from every single touch point, from the time that somebody comes across your brand, driving into your parking lot, walking into the
Hmm.
store, every aspect has touch points. And so I created
Hmm.
a touch point assessment that's actually on my website that anybody
I
can
love
download.
that.
And it's a multidisciplinary, there's going to be some pages that don't apply to you because you don't have a clinic. But there's a lot of things in there about, why if we audit our touch points first,
Hmm.
and open ourselves up to the fact that we're looking at our business through the eyes of our customers, we're going to see a lot of things we didn't see before.
Definitely. Every aspect. I like that you say that. I mean, and I picture as you're saying it, because I'm very visual, right?
Mm,
Picturing, if you have a hotel and you're pulling up into the hotel parking lot and there's no spaces, right?
mm,
So from the time you get to that hotel, now you're expecting this wonderful experience because you're going on vacation. So that is the first thing, right? That sticks out in the person's mind. There's no parking. It could be the best experience inside, but if the experience outside starts out like that, gives you a
right.
bad taste in your mouth, especially if you're going for a great experience. But go ahead.
Yeah.
I like where
So
you're going.
so a lot of times people will say, operators will say, well, it's not my fault. I have no space. I can't help it if I'm busy. But when we come across businesses,
Mm-hmm.
we have three emotional responses. One of them is no response whatsoever. You go into a convenience store, you buy a pack of gum, you pay for the gum, you get back in the car, and you drive away.
Right.
It's forgettable. You just did business. It was okay. Then we have the, oh, what a shame. You walk into the convenience store. That's the time that Frito-Lay now is bringing in their chips. They're blocking the doorway with all these boxes of things on dollies and stuff and blocking entrances. And you kind of have to shuffle away from them. And then, of course, you have one clerk who's checking stuff off and you're standing in line where another clerk is trying to get through stuff and somebody's loyalty card is not working and you're just stuck there wanting to buy this $1.35 thing of gum, right?
Right,
and
right,
and
right.
you go and you think, what a shame. It's like, what a shame the guy who's checking off the chips couldn't just jump behind the cash for just a minute just to help get the backlog done, right? And so
Right.
we have the, oh, what a shame. And then we have the opposite where, it's the other is, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Wow. Right? And so you walk up to
Yes.
the cat, they're all set to go, customer service, customer experience focused. You go to buy your package of gum and they turn around and go, "Oh, you're buying this for $1.35. If you buy this package, it's the same thing. It's $1.50 and you get an extra package." Oh, thank you so much. Now you go, wow, that was really great. He didn't have
Right.
to do that. Right. And so we have these experiences all the time. And so
Yes.
what I challenge entrepreneurs to do all the time is take a look at your touch points and say, where
Mm-hmm.
can we really excel? Where can we really just make the experience stellar? Because we all know you can't control everything. But
Right.
my goodness, if you could take a look at the stuff you can control and you can turn those
Yes.
into like you get rid of all the obstacles, you get rid of all
Mm-hmm.
the barriers, and you make absolutely sure you're designing it for the well-being of your client.
I like that. And you listen, right? So you have to listen to what the customer is saying or what your client is saying, right? Or
Yep.
for example, I take a look at all of my clients' websites.
Yep.
In particular, I take a look at mine on the weekends when I have time. And I say, wow, that needs to be fixed. Because you don't really pay attention to yours, right? So I pay
Yeah.
attention to mine on the weekend. I think all of the things that need to be fixed or improved upon. But I love what you're saying because if you start within, you could, and just pay attention, you could fix those things or implement things. But if we talk to you, because everybody doesn't know that, Mark, everybody, they may not find it important to have certain things
Yes.
happen. Like,
Yeah.
who's going to pay attention to that? Well,
And
everybody.
and to your point, one of the things that I do is I do secret shopper reporting. So I'll go out
Okay.
into businesses and do secret shopper reporting. And I remember a restaurant was the owner was so mad at me, and he calls me up and he says, "Mark, I have to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And I came in, sat down, and he slams down the report, and he
Oh,
says, "Why do I care that there are fingerprints on my door?"
oh,
Because the secret shopper had marked that the windows were dirty, it had lots of fingerprints. I said, "You don't have to care that there's fingerprints on your door." He goes, "Because I make really great pizzas." And I said, "That's fine. You don't have to care. That is just an observation. The fact that you're upset about it tells me that maybe this matters to you more than you think it does. Because here's
he
the
didn't want to
thing."
be told. Uh-huh.
I said, you make great pizzas." He goes, "Yeah, I make the best pizza." I said, "That's fine. How does a brand new customer know that?" If we
Especially
walk in
walking in the door.
if we
Sure.
walk into a business and we see dirty windows, we
Oh,
see
it's
debris
dirty.
on the
Kitchen's
floor,
dirty. The whole kitchen's dirty. I'm leaving.
Right. And so the fact of the matter is all these touch points matter because touch
Yes.
points reflect your values and the importance of the customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise, I could flip that onto its other side and say the exact same thing is true for your employees.
Right.
Designing experiences for your employees because they're the
Mm-hmm.
ones who are actually providing the service to your customers.
Well, that's where it starts. You know?
Yep,
You know how they say the fish rots from the head down? I don't know if you've heard
absolutely.
that before, but it's the truth. Like when you're building a business, you are your employees are a reflection of the way your business is run.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a few restaurants out there who, I mean, Chick-fil-A, for example, hands down, probably the best customer service experience from driving through the drive-through to coming to that front gate where you pick up that window where you pick up your food.
Yes.
They create somehow they've done something where they have all of the employees understanding the experience. So
Yeah.
yes, I get what you're talking about.
And
So let
that's
me ask you something.
and that's the
Go
design,
ahead.
right? Chick-fil-A opened up a location in West Edmonton Mall. West
Uh-huh.
Edmonton Mall is one of the biggest I mean, it's top 5 or something of the
And
biggest
where is
shopping
this?
malls in Edmonton. So the West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton, it's it competed with the Mall of America to be the biggest one in the
What state
world
is
for.
this?
But
Nemington.
now there's Dubai and everything else. But Chick-fil-A
Okay.
opened up, and one of the things they realized in their food court, in the food court system, was that it was too slow for people just to walk up to the counter. So now they created a lineup, and they actually put clerks on the line, getting your name, getting your order, and by the time you walk up to get it, they go, "Here, Brian, here's your order. Oh, Steve, here's your order. Oh, Donna, here's your order."
Right.
And they make it such a positive experience because they actually
Yes.
stopped to think about what does the customer experience look like? And how do
Yes.
we get rid of the barriers?
I love that. So this is what you implement or help businesses do. Tell me how you help inventors, businesses, entrepreneurs. What is your how would you pitch yourself
So
to listeners?
uh, during COVID, I wrote a book, Lights, Camera, Action, Business Operational Excellence Through the Lens of Live Theater. And so what had happened in 2016 was
Uh-huh.
I started acting. Never acted
Hmm.
before. My a colleague came into
Good
my
for you.
office and she says, "Mark, do you act?" And I said, "Well, I act goofy, act silly, but most times I just act immature." And she goes, "No, no, like I mean on stage." And it's like, "Oh, I've never thought about this." And so I agreed to do it, nervous as all heck because I can't even remember what I had for breakfast, let alone memorizing lines. And I had such an epiphany after opening night. I was blown away because after about 3 months of a script, nothing is funny anymore. I don't care how funny the comedy is; it's not funny anymore. In 3.5 months, you're going, "Why am I doing this? This is ridiculous. Why am I causing myself
So
all
it
this?
was
This is
comedy?
terrible.
It was
Why am I
comedy.
doing this?"
So wait, so you were doing comedy. So the
Yes,
acting was comedy.
yes. The
Oh
play
my
was a
goodness gracious.
comedy,
But
and
were you funny? Do you consider yourself funny?
I didn't at the time. Now I think I'm hilarious. So, but my kids will go, "Dad."
Okay. This
But
this is great for all
so
the entrepreneurs out there. You can do anything. Listen,
you can, you can.
you can, but keep on going.
But so the epiphany I had was, you go through the whole idea of why am I doing this? Why am I? This is awful. That's terrible. And then, I'm standing in opening night. I'm behind backstage. The backstage is completely dark. My hand is on the doorknob to walk in onto set. The lights
Ow.
go down. The music starts playing. The lights come up. I walk out on stage completely blinded. I can't see anything. And I can't see the audience, nothing. And we go through, and within the first couple of seconds, the other character comes in, we say our line, and all of a sudden we hear 300 people laughing.
Wow.
And then as I'm going
Was
through my lines, I'm thinking, that's why we're doing it. That's why we took 4 months to rehearse. That's why we took 4 months of stress and everything to get that. And it was such an epiphany for me that I actually came in early the next day, turned on the stage lights before the house lights, and it was the first time that I saw what the audience saw, because I had always been on stage seeing what we see as actors, not
yes.
what the audience was seeing. And right away, as soon as I turned on the lights, you got a sense of time, place, even context of what the story will be.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was, and I sat on the couch on the stage and I looked at everything we did. We had to coordinate volunteers. We had to coordinate bar volunteers. We had to coordinate the caterers. We had to set up the room. We had to build up the stage and build out the stage. We had to do all this
Mm-hmm.
work ourselves. And I sat on the stage and I thought to myself, if businesses could put this much time, attention, and focus into their business
Uh-huh.
that we did just to put on 6 shows, we would have
Yes.
amazing businesses.
You better believe it.
And so
You
I
you
wrote a
hit
book.
you're hitting the nail on the head for
I,
sure.
so I wrote a book all about that, comparing business practices to the theater. Right. And what's interesting about it is we see the dichotomy of
Mm-hmm.
what we do in businesses. For instance, I was at a hotel and I had a meeting and then I was waiting for my colleague to show up and I'm just listening to the table next to me. It's the manager talking to a new employee who it's
Mm-hmm.
her first day, giving her all the paperwork and stuff and saying, "Okay,
Ah,
so great. I'm so glad you have all this experience. Okay, fill out paperwork. Okay, here's your point of sale card. Here's the menu. Here's your apron. You start in 30 minutes. Okay." And it's like, what? And so when you think about that, for the theater equivalent would be, oh, Lisa, you've done Shakespeare. You have 10 years experience. You're brilliant. Oh, that's so good. Here's the script. Here's your costume. You go on in 10. Like it would never happen.
right.
Right?
Well, but yeah. But I get your point. I mean, that's really, but this is where thoughtfulness comes in when it comes to your business, right? And having somebody like you help people to recognize the voids, really, the voids, or just, I mean, the lack of understanding, because nobody means to be um disrespectful or short, or they're just running for their business. But what you're saying is, if you could just take a look at the whole picture, like that playwright, that's, being on set, that screenplay, from the beginning to the end. I love that analogy. Lights, camera. What did the book say? Lights,
Yep.
camera,
Lights, camera, action.
lights,
Business
camera, action. Oh,
operation.
that was, yeah. I mean, and to look at your business that way and all
Yeah.
of the details in between. I love that, because you need a point of reference, I think. You always need to go back to a point of reference, because we just work.
Right.
And sometimes we get lost in the work and not
Yeah.
pay attention to the details.
And
So
that's
I love this.
exactly what happens. Yeah.
This is wonderful. This is wonderful. So you're teaching this, like, how can people find you? How can they purchase your book?
So everything can be found at marchaine.com. Mark is spelt the French way with the C.
We Okay.
marchaine.com. And everything is there. I'm also the founder of the brand new Elite Headline Speakers. So
Love that.
I've created a speaker bureau, but the difference with this is looking at through customer design. I
Hmm.
am looking at it as being a speaker curation service, not a speaker bureau where you have a catalog of speakers and it's like, I want a $2,000 speaker who talks about wellness. Okay, I want him. I really want to
Okay.
help meeting planners design their speaking outcomes for their events.
I love that.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say Mark X. Like a
Mark,
TEDx, it's a Mark X,
it's a
right?
Mark X.
So, but in preparation for, I
Yes.
like that. I like the holistic approach to being able to do it the right way, right?
Yes.
Love it.
And
I
and
love
again,
that.
it's intentionality. And to your point, the adage is you can't see the label from inside the bottle. And sometimes we don't have the
Very
skill. And that's
good.
one of the reasons why I created the customer touch point assessment,
Mhm,
because I
mhm,
think when you actually go through it, you can start distancing yourself from all the crisis and all the things you have to do and start
mhm.
looking at a business objectively with a checklist and see, oh, do I
With a
have edges
checklist, with a
with a
checklist,
checklist?
with a
And you can
checklist.
actually go through and you can say, you know what, this like I don't care that my windows are dirty. Then don't check it. If you don't want your windows clean, that's okay. It's entirely up to you. It's your
Mhm.
business.
Right,
But somewhere along the way, you want to be able to live your values in your business,
right.
and a customer should be able to feel those values the minute they walk into your business.
Every part of it.
Every
Every
part
part
of
of
it,
it.
whether it's a telephone call, a website, walking into a brick and mortar store.
Mark, this is great. So again, markhaine.com. That's where we can find you. You're on all social media platforms, I would assume.
Every single one of them. I can be
Everyone.
found, Lisa. I can be found.
Well, they're going to be looking for you because this is great information, great advice. I love it. Lights, camera, action. Is this on Amazon and everywhere books are being
It is
sold?
indeed.
I love it. I love it. Mark, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you
You
for
are
inviting
funny.
me.
Well, listen, I only have the greatest of the greatest, and you are one of them. So I appreciate you, and I hope you come back.
I would love to. Thank you so much for the invitation.
All right, Mark, you take care. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day.
You too.
All right,
Thanks.
take care. Bye bye.